This is Mrs. Neubauer, and you're listening to the Bomber Buzz.
It's a great day in the Bomber Nation. You're listening to the Bomber Buzz. This is Principal Jacob Jenkins, and joining me as co-host today is not Mr. Rudolph. It is Mrs. Dawna Helfrich. Dawna, welcome back to the Buzz.
Thank you.
We have not a whole lot going on this week event-wise, but we do have a really big event this weekend, which is the play, which is why Mrs. Helfrich is here with us. And we're going to talk about that in 1 minute. Other things just to know about for our week before we get to the play is on Monday, girls basketball starts practice. On Friday the 22nd, there is a junior high girls basketball game versus Glenburn. That's right here at home at 4 o'clock. And on Saturday, there's Laker wrestling. That's at the Magic City campus at 10 a.m. And then there is also wrestling that wrestling is for varsity and junior varsity. So if you want to see some wrestling things going on, head out to Magic City campus on Saturday at 10 a.m. The big highlight for Mrs. Helfrich and I, however, is Friday and Saturday. We open Who Killed Elvis, a comedy, mystery, suspense by Craig Sidaro.
Yep.
Yeah, and we're pretty excited about it. I was trying to think, we've got over 20 kids in the play, don't we?
22 actors.
Yeah, and then
3
tech as well. Mm-hmm. So quite a large number of our student bodies involved in this play. Mrs. Helfrich, what led you to this play?
A friend of mine had done it, and she just said it was just fabulous, and the kids had a lot of fun with it. So I'm like, hey, sounds great.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of really cool things in there. What would you say is some highlights for you?
I love the lip syncing contest.
Yeah.
Love that. That's great to watch the kids just kind of go be goofy.
Yep.
But the kids are just doing a great job of just getting outside themselves and acting and having a great time with it. So that's always the best thing. Yeah,
I think what's fun as a director here watching them is as they're growing in the show, they start to add new little things, and there's so many things going on that you can see. It's just they all got their own little character bits and stuff.
Yep, for sure.
You want to give us a synopsis of Who Killed Elvis? Put you on the spot here.
Yeah. So there's the drop-on inn is being run by a widow and her children, and the children decided to have a contest to raise some money. And the contest was an Elvis impersonation contest. And the mother does not know that they also changed the name of the inn to Elvis Ate Here. And so Elvis did eat there at one time. And so they have this competition, and a couple Elvises they end up dying. And
yes.
And so hence the name Who Killed Elvis? And so that's the mystery part. They're trying to figure out who killed Elvis.
Yeah, and there's quite a number of different characters. And today's episode, we're going to interview Kaleb White and Martin Heberlie and Gretchen Deaver. And there are 3 of our senior actors, and they all play quite different characters. And I mean, we run the gamut from some high school kids trying to win the contest to get money for prom to people on the run from the law, mobsters, police, and then just regular people who want to be Elvis having midlife crisis. There's a whole range of characters and things going on in this play.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I was thinking about what is my big highlight, like what am I most excited about? I like our dance numbers because there are several points where the Elvises do dances and lip sync things, and they're hilarious.
Yes, they are.
I think that's going to bring down the house over everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this has been quite the process now. We've been practicing for over 2 months now.
I believe so.
And just because of all the other activities and everything going on, we can practice 3 days a week pretty much. And so the kids are used to early mornings, 6:30 a.m. Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday afternoons. So now I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward now. We get consistent practice every day now from Sunday until showtime.
Yep, that'll be fabulous.
Yeah. So you need to come out and see this play. We have a matinee for the school. That's at 1 o'clock.
1:30.
Or 1:30, sorry, on Friday, November 22nd. And then our first performance is that Friday as well. That starts at 7 p.m. And our second and final performance is on Saturday, the 23rd, also at 7 p.m. Those are both in the old gym. I think if you come out, you're going to have a really great time. As the kids have put in a lot of work. It's a lot of fun. Mrs. Helfrich, this is not your first play.
No.
About how many would you say you've done out here in Berthold?
Musicals and plays together?
Yeah.
I don't know. 12, 13, 14, something like that.
Quite a while.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first one?
Into the Woods was a musical.
That
Into
was the first
Junior.
one.
Yep.
That's a big one.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. My co-director had done all the plays, and then I convinced her to finally do a musical.
Yeah.
So,
so it had not been musicals until
No.
that point.
No.
Okay.
I think they did 2 like way back, but it had been many years.
I love that we alternate. For those of you that have been to our theater before, you saw Seussical last year. And 2 years before that, Matilda. I think, we try to do every other year, right?
Yep.
And I love that. So if you like theater, next year, musical.
Yes, it is.
So what is it about theater that keeps you coming back?
The kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of time. But
Yes.
just to see the kids out of their element and just exploring new things and, just having fun. It's all the
Agreed.
kids.
Yeah, I think that also for me is what brings a lot of meaning.
Yeah.
And to see them interact in a way that they don't normally interact, playing a character is something different than what you do every day. It almost kind of harkens back to when you're just a little kid and you're play acting just by yourself, pretending to be somebody. But there's some real deep meaning in that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun just to kind of go outside of your regular bounds and be somebody and something new and explore that.
And not to mention our tech crew.
They're great.
They're good. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Liz Vries managing 20 mics.
Yep.
Or
Close to 20, yeah.
close to 20. Like trying to make sure everybody is ready to go. And that's always a thing. And the lights going. And we got Levi and Wade working on tech and lights and things. And I think that spotlight's going almost the entire show.
It is.
Yeah, you can't just sit back there and not pay attention.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, I would say I'm proud of our actors. I'm proud of our tech. Special shout out to Mr. Steve Helfrich, who does tons for the show. Helps get the tech set up, helps build the sets. Shout out to our senior girls who did the painting and things like that to get the show ready. It takes a lot of volunteers, a lot of work to get things done that you don't even really kind of think about. But these are the people who have really helped us and made sure that we have some quality things going on. So thank you, Steve. Thank you, senior girls. Come on out. We look forward to seeing you guys at the play. As I said, coming up here today, we've got Kaleb White and Martin Heberlie. And then after him, we're going to talk with Gretchen Deaver. So stay tuned on the Bomber Buzz. Birdsall Grain and Seed is a farmer seed company. They specialize in seed sales and feed grade and seed conditioning. Birdsall Grain and Seed strives to provide the best and newest varieties that are conditioned to meet their high standards. As a family-owned company, they live their core values of quality, integrity, service, people, and trust. Their motto, a farmer's seed and agronomy company, reminds us daily that their business is built around satisfying the needs of their customers with information they have learned over a long legacy of their own farm. Birdsall Grain and Seed is a proud sponsor of the Bomber Nation.
Hey, this is Mr. Kronka, the middle school teacher here at Berthold, and my fun fact is it is impossible to hum while holding your nose shut. And now I'm going to ask you to do it, and you're probably going to look just as silly as I did. And, well, now you know.
We're back on the Bomber Buzz, and joining me here now, I've got Kaleb White and Martin Heberlie, and they play Morty and Shorty in our upcoming production that we've been talking about all day today, Who Killed Elvis by Craig Sidaro, opening on Friday. So, guys, welcome to the Bomber Buzz.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's start with Kaleb. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your character?
So Shorty is supposed to be Martin, aka Morty's sidekick, and he is almost like one of the sidekicks that wants to be the ringleader. He doesn't like taking orders, and he likes being more in control and doing the talking, because every time Morty talks, he almost incriminates himself or says something to get us in trouble.
He does have a habit of doing that.
Yes. And he's the one that is oblivious to things, but also is very noticeable of things and wants to find out stuff to try and back them up and protect themselves, while Morty, on the other hand, is clumsy and gets them caught and wants them to get almost in trouble.
So then, Martin, tell us about your
Well, being as Morty, like Kaleb said, he is the ringleader in the play as a Shorty, and I just kind of sit in the shadow of Shorty, and I just kind of, I'm just there. I'm his, like he said, I'm his sidekick. I'd say he's the teacher, I'm the student. I'm kind of always listening to him, trying to do whatever he's doing, and I'm a klutz really in the play, and I kind of mess up a lot.
Yeah. So Morty and Shorty, I don't think this is giving too much away, are a pair of criminals, essentially, who have stolen something and are on the run from mobsters that are trying to kill them. And they decide to hide out at this cafe at an Elvis impersonation contest, where they're supposed to meet their contact, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're supposed to deliver something. We won't say yet, but it gets really more difficult as things start to unfold and happen.
Things complicate very, very quickly.
And let's just say Morty slips up a lot during the play.
Yeah, it's a lot to try and handle and not get frustrated at as Shorty.
So, Martin, what do you think is your most fun part in this play? Like, what do you like most about this particular show or doing in this show?
What I like most is, so it's called Who Kills Elvis. So there's Elvis in there for a reason. And let's just say I get to dress up as an Elvis most of the play, and it's really fun and enjoyable, and I can't wait to play the act. And I'm just so excited to do the dress rehearsal and see how it all goes, and I'm just really pumped about how the play is going to go as me being an Elvis.
Yeah, Kaleb, same question.
Well, I agree with him on the whole Elvis thing. I don't get to be the same, but I'm still dressed up as Elvis and having that character. It's like you're not being yourself. You're being someone that you're trying to imagine what they would be like in real life. But also the aspect of being a character that gets looked at everyone by, they're just some stupid kids or annoying. So it's like Martin and I are having fun doing this stupid idiot role, and other people are adults and they're just like, or they're more mature and they're just like, can we just get them out of there? And they're annoying.
Right. So let's talk about you as actors. What other productions have you guys done?
I did 2 years ago. I did Down in Front. That was my first play ever, and I had a really big role in it.
Yeah.
I don't remember how much lines I had, but I knew it was over 100.
It was quite a few.
And it was quite a few, and I'm still surprised that I was able to handle it and get through it, and it was really fun. I didn't think I'd enjoy it. It was something I just went out and tried, and I absolutely fell in love with plays and acting and stuff. And it's just such a fun thing to do, to kind of get out of your own character, and you get to play around with all these different types of, characters and stories and stuff. And you just kind of get to figure out what you like to do and how you like to act. And it's just really fun.
Yeah. It's a neat experience, kind of jumping out of who you are and becoming somebody else and getting to embody that. Kaleb, is this your first?
So that's what I was going to say. Funny enough, this is my first one, but I have in the past attended like the one Down in Front that Martin was in, and I kind of like found it fun, and I was like, maybe I'll do it next year. But I am not a musical guy, and the year after that was a musical, so I'm like, you know what, I'll just do Spotlight and watch. So I was kind of like there to see the build up in the practice for it,
Sure.
so I knew what to be prepared for. But now that I'm doing it, it's like Martin said, it's fun to like be someone that you're not. And like you always see people on TV doing it, and it's like they're not like that in person at all. But you do it, it's like you get to bring out a self that nobody sees in you.
Yeah.
And it shows people that you can be determined and passionate for something that's not even real.
Agreed. And I think you guys have some real interesting characters that you get to do as a pair. You're on stage most of the time together, and you get to play off each other. That's got to been pretty fun.
Oh, 100%. It's like when I saw this role, I don't know if Martin was there that day, but I saw the description of two small-time thieves that are best friends that mess up and are clumsy, and I'm like, there's nobody else that can do that. Two clumsy people that are actually friends in real life. It's like there's nobody else in this school that would be able to play it off as well as we could.
This was meant to be.
Yeah. No, I gotta agree with Kaleb. Us being really good friends, it just makes it even better and more fun doing the play as Morty and Shorty, and I just really enjoy it.
Yeah, I think one thing that the audience is going to love that they will surprise you is this isn't a musical, but we do have some dances in. And these two tear it up as Elvis impersonators for a bit. So I think they're going to find your dance pretty funny.
One that we will not be able to live down, because I know that video is going to be somewhere. I'm going to be somewhere in my 30s, and someone's going to be like, remember this video of you dancing?
You?
Yeah.
That, if I have to admit, that's probably the one thing I'm most scared about, is everybody having to see me do a really funky, funny dance.
Well, like we say, though, humor, for it to be effective, you have to be a little embarrassed.
Yeah.
And that's what sells it, is that you fight through it, and that's why it's funny.
And I guess why, spoiler, not spoiler, there's more than one, so we won't be made fun of for just one. But yeah, it's getting to do it is fun, but also that's the whole point. If you don't, like you say, if you don't feel stupid or crazy for doing it, then you're not doing it right.
Yeah, especially when you're playing such off-the-wall characters like you guys do.
Yeah.
All right, so the play is coming up. We've only got a few practices left. We open on the 22nd. We're doing a matinee for the school at 1 o'clock, and then we're open to the public that night. And we have two performances on the 22nd and the 23rd. What do you think, if you're trying to get our listeners to come see the show, give the show a plug. What do you think they will enjoy? Why should they come?
Well, I think this year's play, it's a really fun, interactive play. I know it's called Who Killed Elvis, but they really play into like the comedic part of it. Like it's really funny. There's lots of stuff going on, and there's never a dull moment throughout the whole play. There's always something unique going on, always something funny, and it's just a lot to take in, and it's really fun. And it also helps that we have so much people out this year, so there's so many unique characters and different roles, and it just brings the whole play together. And it honestly is just a really fun play, and to be on set with everyone, it's just an enjoyable time always.
Well said.
I agree with them on that. It's a wacky comedic event that if you want a good laugh or have nothing to do in a Friday, Saturday afternoon, it's fun to go to. And something that wasn't mentioned, we also have a free will bake sale going on each night. And I know a lot of you out there, you love goodies and brownies and cookies. Who would want to pass up on that? A good show to laugh at and something good to eat in the intermission while watching.
Agreed. All right, well, that was Kaleb White and Martin Heberlie. Guys, thanks for being on The Buzz today, talking about the show.
Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you guys there. We got more coming up in just a minute. H&L Safety and Supply has everything you need to run a proper work site. Tools, lighting, porta-johns, and more. Purchase or rent the things you need. H&L Safety and Supply is a family-owned business that exemplifies small-town values. For over 13 years, they have been serving their clients with top-notch customer service and excellent equipment. For all your worksite needs, call H&L Safety and Supply at 701-624-2183. H&L Safety and Supply is a proud sponsor of the Bomber Nation. We're back on the Bomber Buzz, and joining me now is Gretchen Deaver. Gretchen, welcome to the Buzz.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Gretchen, you are in the play Who Killed Elvis by Craig Sidaro. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your character?
Okay, so in the play, my character's name is Robin, She is the diner's owner's daughter. And she's my character is dead set on like saving their failing diner and their failing motel in their small town.
That's right. And how does she go about doing that?
She holds an Elvis impersonation contest in honor of the king's 25th anniversary of his death.
Right. So a little context there for those listening. Robin has been to college and is back home, and 50 years ago or more, Elvis stopped at this little cafe that at that point was owned by Robin's grandma, right? And they are trying to capitalize on the popularity of that, and Robin is just full force gonna save the business.
Yep.
Gretchen, what do you think is the most exciting part about playing Robin? Like, what do you like most about your character?
She's very forward with what she wants. Like, her mother, Ruth, isn't, like, all for the idea of holding this contest and having a $500 prize. But Robin came home from college and was like, in order to make money, you have to spend money. And so she's all for that and very much, like, concentrated on saving their business, and her mother's kind of like, well, maybe not.
It is an interesting dynamic there. The daughter just kind of taking over and the mother not really knowing what's going on.
Yeah, so I think that's probably my favorite part.
Yeah, no, Gretchen, this is not your first play. You've been doing theater, you've been in the last 4 years, haven't you?
Yep. Yeah, this will be my 4th year.
What are some highlights for you about Berthold Theater?
So the first one I was a part of was Matilda, and you know, all the 4 I've done, I don't really necessarily have the favorite. I mean, the people that are involved with it, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What we do, like all 4 shows, the people that are a part of it, they just make it so much fun, and it's something I didn't realize I would have gotten into, but it's definitely something that I wouldn't change.
Yeah. Well, and you've been in quite a variety of shows. You look at Matilda, that was a pretty big musical. And then you were in the show with Mr. Bush.
Yep.
I can't think of the title.
Down in Front.
Down in Front, that's right. And then back to Seussical, where you played one of the leads, Horton. That was quite a stretching time for you in acting, wouldn't you say?
Well, that was my first like lead role. I mean, in Matilda, I was just a backup character. In Down in Front, I had a bigger role, but I wasn't like the main focus.
Yep.
So going from like having maybe 80 lines to having to memorize about like 8+ songs, and then
choreography with that.
Choreography and then lines. It was just a huge jump.
Yeah. One of the unique things about this show is there's not really necessarily a lead. Like, the parts are really distributed among all of the actors fairly equally. I suppose there's 10 or so, I suppose, that kind of take that lead role, but there's not like one person that stands out. Everyone kind of gets their time to shine.
I think I really like this show so far. My role, I would say, also is a bigger part, you know, but all the roles are important. This show would be very incomplete without each specific role. There's 4 roles that have maybe 50+ lines, and yeah, those roles are important, but again, all the roles have a play in the part, and it wouldn't be complete without them.
Yeah, agreed. Everyone's kind of got their moment to shine,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not a whole thing without all of them.
Not at all.
Yeah. So if for our people listening, what would you say to them to get them to come see the show? Why should they see it?
It's very entertaining. It's funny. I mean, we have a lot of upcoming freshmen that are in it.
Yes.
And I think it's great to see the younger classmen taking part in theater because it's something that people are like, oh, well, I mean, whatever. But I mean, our show this year has been very well put together by our directors, and it's comedic, it's funny, and everybody knows everyone.
Yeah. Well, it's got a lot of humor. It also has some suspense, as the title would suggest. More than one Elvis actually dies. Spoiler alert.
Not to spoil it.
Not a big spoiler. The title is Who Killed Elvis.
Right.
So there's some intrigue there, a whodunit, and there's quite a range of characters from Robin, who you're probably one of the more sensible characters out of the whole bunch.
I mean, probably.
That's saying something, right?
I would say so. I mean, the characters, there's a wide range of characters.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all pretty quirky in their own ways.
Yeah, they are.
But it's very comical.
Yeah. Well, if you want to come and see Gretchen play Robin and Who Killed Elvis, you should come see the show. It's on Friday and Saturday night at 7 o'clock in the old gym. It's going to be pretty awesome. Gretchen, thanks for being with us on the Bomber Buzz today.
Yes, thank you.
All right, we got more coming up. Sidelines Bar and Grill, located in downtown Berthold, is your go-to for a tasty meal and a cold drink. Come on down for lunch or after a hard day of work. From burgers and wraps to chicken strips, mozzarella sticks, and more, Sidelines will fill you up and satisfy your cravings. Enjoy great friends and conversation over a refreshing beverage or two. When you're looking for somewhere to relax, Sidelines Bar and Grill has you covered. Sidelines Bar and Grill is a proud sponsor of the Bomber Nation. You've been listening to the Bomber Buzz. This is our weekly podcast hosted right here in the Bomber Nation. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to like and subscribe so that you get notified of all of our new episodes. We try to post new episodes on Fridays every week so that you can be informed of all the latest things coming in and going throughout the Bomber Nation and the school. If there's something that you would like to hear, or if you'd like to make an appearance on the podcast, we'd be happy to have you. Just let us know. You can contact myself, Principal Jacob Jenkins, or Dean of Students, Mr. Paul Rudolph, either by email at jacob.jenkins@k12.nd.us or paul.rudolph@k12.nd.us, or simply call the school at 453-3484. We'd be happy to have you on or talk about what's interesting to you. We thank you for listening. Fly high, Bombers.